Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, bringing you set 3 of Mind versus Light. That last game ended very, very quickly as Light went for a cheese that did not work, and Mind countered his way into victory. So Mind, a former Star League champion, looking to close out this series, and it's going to be on Dante's peak. And I don't think Light should be too worried about that last game. That's not really going. I really don't think that last game is going to affect him too much overall. It was one of those games where he was basically just trying to end it early because he knew he had a chance to go for a regular, big, long TVT, and he can try and win that in this set. So I don't think that's going to be too much of a momentum factor. I'm sure Mind is happy and Light is sad, but overall, I don't think that was really too big of a game going on there. And now it looks like Mind's gonna go for a cheese. Okay, so Light failed with his cheese, so here comes Mind with his cheese. And we'll see if this works a little bit better. We'll see where he places that proxy racks. Probably gonna be near these bridges, or maybe inside if there's a spot. Yeah, it is gonna be here on the bridges. And this is kind of in a scouting pattern, in the normal scouting pattern. If Light is going, Light is in the bottom right, by the way. Light is in the bottom right. Mind is in the top right. If Light's going to does choose the correct spot first, heading towards the top right, it's I don't know. I think that's just out of the normal scout. If you just right click right into your opponent's base, I think that's just outside of it. So if he's not careful with the scout and just wanders it out and isn't thinking about cheese, it'll get scouted out. And where is this SCV going? We do have the supply depot completed, and he is going out on the scout, and we're trying to see if he has if he's looking for proxies, if he's like, you know, darts into the middle of the map at all. And it actually, yep, still normal right now. Will he scout this out? It does look like Light is going to throw down a barracks. Yes, he is going to throw down a barracks. And he does scout it out. So Light does scout it out. So Mind's cheese gets scouted out. Will we have a repeat performance from the last game where Mind is unable to do enough damage with his Marines as Light was, and basically has a failed proxy? Because basically that's all that happens. The proxy racks from Light only killed 2 SCVs and a couple Marines, not nearly enough to get a win. And we'll see if Mind is able to win the microfight a little bit better. If he is, he could actually get an advantage out of this despite the fact that it's scouted out. He still has the advantage that his Marines are going to be popping out much earlier. He's getting a refinery as well, Mind, so he isn't going to fall too far behind on that count. He's going to be behind, but hopefully not too far behind should this cheese fail. His Marine is getting into position, and he has a SCV being harassive of the SCV building the barracks, but the barracks does go up, and here comes 2 Marines, actually 2 Marines and another SCV coming in reinforced. So 2 Marines and 2 SCVs coming in for Mind here to try and do some harassment. And I think Light needs to pull off more SCVs. He only got 3 right now, or 4 or 5, so there we go. Now he's got enough with his singular Marine as well. If he can get a second Marine out, he should be able to defend here if he can take hold of the top of his ramp, but actually sacrificing the top of his ramp. And his Marine actually is in front of the SCVs and gets picked off very, very quickly. So 3 Marines here, picking off a couple of SCVs and picking off the Marine that just built. So this looks, oh my god, oh man, Light's going to need to have some fantastic micro here with SCVs. He's going to have to really get them into the Marines and take them down with SCVs, but it's still going to be a little while before he can get a Marine out. It does look like 2 of the Marines for Mind do go down, but the Marine that just was built for Light does go down as well, and Mind is in huge trouble here. With his remaining Marines, and they do go down. Another one coming in, though, so Mind is continuing with this, still continuing with this harassment. He has lost all of those his initial Marines, but does come in with another one. There is another red SCV if he can find it, and he does pick it off. So that Marine coming in there and getting 2 shots and 2 kills, and the reinforcing Marine for Light coming in is able to get the first shot in and kill off the last Marine of Mind. So Mind with much, much, much better of a harassing there with his proxy racks than Light. Was able to pick off something like 7 or 8 SCVs, much, much better than Light did. And how will we develop from this point? We have Factory and a Vulture out for Light right now. Mind should have Mind has his Vulture out as well. I think did I just see a starport? I think I might have seen a starport. If my eyes did not deceive me, I think I saw a starport going off for Mind. I saw a building. And so we should be seeing a Wraith build coming from Mind, which would be very, very... Yeah, I did see a starport. That is a starport. He's getting a machine shop as well for his factory, so he is going to go with a Wraith build, and will Light, as he did it in the previous game, get some early Goliaths? Because if he does, he should be in pretty good shape to deal with this, but I haven't seen the armory, haven't seen the academy yet, so This could actually end up catching him by surprise. It does look like Light is taking his natural expansion as well, so he's going to get that second command center, get that the SCV advantage, the eco advantage overall from that move, and still sticking with his one factory. And will we see an academy or a armory? If we do, that would be some fantastic thought on his part, some great game sense. Control tower on that starport has completed, and yes, we do have Cloak and Wraith producing. So now it's just a matter of when does that academy come up, when does that armory come up, when does Light detect that this is coming his way, because if he can, there he does have the armory, there we go, that will help him out. Now he needs the academy to deal with the cloak, and he will be in good shape to deal with this if he's got some amazing game sense, if he's able to do that. And the barracks for Light getting into Mine's base, going to see that, so he sees it now. He knows exactly what's coming his way, so we should see an academy, insta-academy right now, immediately. If not, I guess he could go for an engineering bay, but really, academy is your better shot since you already have the armory with the Goliath. You might as well get the scans and let your Goliaths do the work for you. We do have the second factory, and where is the academy? Maybe at the natural? No, not at the natural. Where's the academy? Wraith coming in here, going to start picking out an SCV that's building the factory. Where's the academy? Really? It took this long? So slow reflexes from Light. Some really, really slow reflexes from Light. Not building that academy ASAP, delaying it a little bit. So if that Wraith for Mind actually scouting it out, so now this academy is going to be delayed. And if a second Wraith is able to come into play, he could really delay this academy for a ridiculous amount of time. Very, very possible. A second SCV coming in here to continue production on that academy, but this is going to be really tough for him. And second Wraith is being sent in. Looks like Light has landed his barracks at the natural expansion of Mind, going to stop a command center from being built there. And the second Wraith for Mind, actually at the natural expansion, going to start picking at SCVs there. And Mind is going to use that other Wraith to continue picking at SCVs and the main. So we got split up Wraiths here doing damage and being harassive at both spots. Command center for Mind being thrown up inside of his base, and no more Wraiths being produced here as he spent a lot of that money on the command center. So we could see some more coming in later. That Wraith cloaking underneath above that Goliath, and this other Wraith going to cloak as well, and is going to continue picking at SCVs in the main mineral line. So these Wraiths doing a ton of damage right now, and combined with that early 8 racks, proxy racks, doing a ton of damage to the SCV count, and two SCVs repairing one, so even more lost mining here. A lot of lost mining for Light, a lot of lost SCV. This is really troublesome for Light, and even though he has that second command center earlier, and he should have been producing more SCVs, you would think, he's lost so many that he really doesn't have that much of an advantage in the eco. In fact, I don't think he has any advantage at this point. In fact, yeah, I really don't. He's got so few SCVs. You can see the SCV counts. He just really doesn't have that many. And that is a 7-kill Wraith looking for an 8th kill. Will it get it? Will be close. 2 SCVs once again repairing it. So still a lot of lost mining time. And Mind actually has more tanks as well. Looks like he had 5 or 6 tanks that are pushing out in his force. And it looks like Mind maybe ran out of cloak, knows that the comm sets are coming up, something like that, and was forced to run away with his Wraiths, at least for now. But he is now that the Wraiths have stopped pushing, now he's going to push with the ground army, which, once again, his ground army is stronger than Light's because of his tank count, at least. Well, actually, I didn't see the third tank. I thought there was only 2 tanks and a bunch of Goliaths, in which case the 5 tanks of Mind were going to win that battle. But it looks like the third tank coming in here, he does have siege earlier than Light, so that's going to give him an advantage as he tries to set up this contain, and he has Wraiths for sight advantage as well as keeping, it'll also keep Light from floating off a building and try and get the sight that way. So Light's going to be depending upon his scans in order to use his tank lines. And Wraiths once again coming in here into the natural expansion, going to start picking at SCVs. And where are the Goliaths? They are going on a wraparound. They're going to try and pick off reinforcements, maybe try and do a pincer attack on these tanks that have set up the contain, something along those lines, and we're going to have to see where he decides to go. I think he's going to have to come home. I think he might lose this game if he doesn't bring them home, if he goes for a counterattack. But it does look like he is going to go for the counterattack. Light is going to go for the counterattack while his natural expansion gets sieged up, and Wraiths are attacking his main. He is going to go for the counter, and Mind actually has 2 siege tanks inside of his natural expansion, so this is going to be complicated as to how Light is going to be able to do the necessary counter damage. He's going for it, but I just don't know if he's going to be able to close the damage with those tanks for Mind having come into position. Here he comes. He is getting in there, going to start harassing the bottom mineral patches of the natural expansion, but that's not enough. That's not enough. He needs to kill that base. He needs to destroy the natural expansion of Mind. There's just no way for him to stay in without it. And this lifted expansion are going to go down to Wraiths. And Light slowly moving in here. This needs to be faster. He can't wait. If he allows Mind to continue to build up forces and bring in a couple more tanks to bear, it's going to be over. He won't be able to push in any farther. SCV's coming off the line here into the natural expansion, going to try and take out these tanks, but there's no reinforcing units. They need more than just tanks. You need something to actually deal damage, and there's nothing there, so Light is going to be forced to GG. Mind is going to advance into the round of 8, so some good play there by Mind in both sets today, and advances into the round of 8. Very, very well played by Mind, taking down Light, who has not looked good since his switch into Woongjin Stars. He did do well enough to advance into this round of 16, but has had subpar results so far since his switch, and he is going to fall here. Mind advancing into the round of 8 with some really nice play out of 2 quick TVTs. So we're going to go on into Flash versus Really, and that's going to be the final series of this round of 16. That is coming at you next.